and get this party started. Wow. Okay. We have lots of you guys tuning in the chat. Amazing. I see Toronto, New Jersey, Brazil, Arizona, Alberta, Virginia, Louisiana, and we have Andrea from the Cayman Islands. So that's Bangladesh. Cool. Keep it coming, guys. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We love kind of seeing the worldwide representation. So for those of you guys just tuning in on Facebook, welcome. My name is Abigail, and this is Ashley, for those of you guys who don't know her. Ashley, do you want to, we always do a little introduction, so do you want to go ahead and do that?
Yeah, hey guys, I'm Ashley, and I'm the growth lead here at That Clean Life. I'm seeing a lot of familiar names in the chat, but if we haven't met yet, nice to meet you.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. So I do recognize a lot of you guys in the chat. I know that you're That Clean Life members. So how many of you guys are members of That Clean Life? If you're a member, type member into the chat box. And if you're not a member, put non-member, just so we know when we go into the platform, if you're familiar with it. Okay, we have lots of members here. Awesome. Okay, cool. So today's webinar, guys, is all about how to boost your business using That Clean Life in the summer months. So straight up, real talk, you know, the summer months can be really hard for health professionals. If you guys have been at this for a while, you might know that, you know, clients tend to drop off in the summer months. They're going traveling, they're going to the cottage, they're doing things, and it's harder to stay on track with your health goals while you're out of routine, right? So we're not gonna lie, summer months can be challenging. But with that being said, your clients are struggling too. Your clients have their own sets of issues that they're struggling with in the summer. And with a little bit of creativity, we really believe that you can make the summer months some of your best months in business yet. So that's what we're talking about today. Ashley and I have put our heads together, and we've come up with 5 really great creative ideas. And actually, before we went live here, we were saying that some of these ideas are like things that we've never shared, never talked about. Like, these are ideas that we came up just brainstorming, and we really hope that you guys implement them. So for those of you guys just coming in late, feel free to say hi in the chat box. And we're going to go ahead and get this started. So we're going to kick things off. We're going to launch right into the ideas that you can use That Clean Life to boost your business this summer. Okay, so I'm going to start up my screen share for you guys. And maybe Ashley, you can just let me know when you can see it okay.
All right, we are good to go.
Okay. So maybe you guys too in the chat box, let me know if you can see my screen okay, just so I know we're all on the same page. And also I will say before we get started, if you have any questions about any of these ideas as we go along, feel free to pop those into the chat box, because the more you guys interact with us, the more fun this is. So if you have any questions, let us know and we're happy to answer those. Okay, so welcome to That Clean Life. For those of you guys who aren't members of That Clean Life, this might not look as familiar to you. So real quick, an overview of what That Clean Life is. So That Clean Life is a meal planning platform for health professionals. Basically what we help you do is you come onto That Clean Life and you can create beautiful nutrition resources for your clients. You can create meal plans with grocery lists and recipes. You can create recipe books. Our members are worldwide, and they're using the platform for a variety of ways. Some are using it one-on-one with clients, some are running group programs, some are running challenges, creating lead magnets, running workshops, cooking classes, so much more. So you guys get the point. When you log into That Clean Life, you'll see your dashboard. You have access to recipes. So we give you access to a recipe gallery. This is a living and breathing cookbook, guys. So we are adding new recipes all the time. So you're always getting more access to content, which is really cool. And you also have access to a meal planner. You have access to all of our pre-made programs, which we're also adding to all the time. Collections is what helps you organize your meal plans and your recipes. And then you guys also have your recipe box where you can add your own recipes. And yes, you can add your own recipes, your own photos, and the nutrition information will calculate. So that is a quick overview of That Clean Life. And I want to say straight up, first things first, your clients do not log into That Clean Life. So that's a very common question we get asked. That Clean Life helps you create the materials. You then export them as PDFs. We apply your branding, all your information, and then you can use those with your clients. So your clients don't need a login or anything like that. This is a practitioner-facing platform. Okay, so with all of that being said, let's get into ways you can use that Clean Life to boost your business this summer. So all the ideas we're going to share with you today are summer inspired. They're related to summer. They're specific to the summer season. So first things first, you can create a summer inspired lead magnet to attract your ideal clients. So I want you guys to think about, what does your ideal client struggle with? Maybe open up the chat box and let me know, just brainstorm out loud a few of the common issues that your ideal client struggles with. And then I want you to envision how you would use that Clean Life to create either a meal plan or a recipe book to help solve that problem. So let's give an example here. So let's say you're a nutritionist who works with menopausal women. So you might know that your clients often go to the cottage on weekends, or they're entertaining friends and family, and they struggle to find healthy recipes that everybody in their family will love. And not only that, but they're dealing with hot flashes. So you know that they don't want to spend time over the oven or over the grill. So you could come onto that Clean Life and you could create them something like 5 cool, quick, and healthy summer salads to help you avoid hot flashes. So let's talk about how you would create that using that Clean Life. So first things first, you're going to head to the recipe gallery. And obviously you need to narrow things down. Right now we have over 1,800 recipes on June 23rd, 2020. Like I said, this is growing all the time. So you're going to go to the filters and you want to find salad recipes, right? So not only that, but you want them to be kind of like no cook, really quick and easy salad. So I'm going to move the time to 10 minutes. I want these salads to take only 10 minutes. And then under tags, I'm going to type in salad and choose the salad tag. Now I can filter recipes and I'll be given 10-minute salad recipes. And from here, I can go in and I can add them to a collection. So I can add them to my collection called 5 Cool, Quick, and Healthy Summer Salad Recipes. So basically there's 27 results based on the criteria I put in, so I can scroll through and add the ones that I think my clients would love to that collection. Once you have picked your 5, you can go into collections and you can export this collection. So you'll see all the ones I added here. And I'm going to go to this and I'm going to click export collection. I'm going to choose the recipes. And now you're ready to create your actual recipe book. So it's totally up to you whether you want to include the recipe notes or the nutrition information. Let's say I want my clients to have the nutrition information. I'll click nutrition. Now you can choose a cover page for your recipe book. Scrolling down here, you'll see I have the 5 recipes selected. And under brief, you have an area where you can write an intro to your lead magnet. So I don't want you guys to breeze over this step. I think this area is really important. This is where you're going to introduce yourself to your ideal clients that are all downloading your lead magnet and help them to get to know you. So I've written up a little snippet in advance. So I'm going to click on view all. And then I've written something called a lead magnet intro. So I'm going to apply that. And why don't we go through that really quickly, because our last webinar we talked about snippets and we shared snippets that we wrote and you guys found that really interesting. So here's what I did. I wrote, "Hi, my name is Abigail and I'm a nutritionist who helps women cope with the symptoms of menopause with real food." I talk about why I created this recipe book to help them enjoy cool summer salads that the whole family will love. And from there, I say, this is just the beginning of what I'd have to offer. So I'd love to invite you to join my free private Facebook group, Cool Over 40. This is an incredible community of women over 40 who are all experiencing menopause, but supporting one another through it. So you guys can see how this is very specific to a nutritionist specializing in menopause, but I really want to encourage you to write something similar for your own community, for your own niche that will really help people get to know you. And tell them, like, they're downloading your free lead magnet, right? What next step do you want them to take? And then I also say, and hey, if you make any of these recipes, don't forget to tag me on Instagram, and I link my Instagram. And then I say, enjoy, Abigail. Okay, so I've got my brief for my lead magnet in there. This is going to appear on the second page after the cover page. And guys, now all I need to do is click Start Export. And I've downloaded that in advance so I can quickly show you what that looks like. So opening that up, you'll see my logo has automatically been applied. You'll see the title of the recipe book and my information. I'll zoom in a bit for you guys. And then scrolling down, you'll see that brief that I just read to you. Like I said, this is on the second page. So this is the second thing they're gonna see. So it's really important you take the time to introduce yourself, tell people how to get more. Every single page is gonna have your branding, your name, and your website on it, which is clickable. And then after that, you're gonna have all the recipes that you added to this recipe book. So in this case, 5 cool summer salads that all take less than 10 minutes. So see how easy that is, guys. You can create a summer-inspired lead magnet. I just did that in less than 5 minutes, Ashley. Like, it took no time at all. So we always say no excuses for not having a lead magnet, because once you have that clean life, you can do it really quickly. Everything looks nice and professional, and everything is branded. So that's our first idea of how you can start building your email list. I'll also say, once you start building your list, you have to make sure you nourish the leads on your list, right? You can't just create a lead magnet, get people on your list, and do nothing. Then you have to work on converting those people into paying clients. So how do you do that? Well, you send weekly newsletters, you keep in touch, you provide value, you run free challenges so people can get to know you. There's lots of things you can do to nourish those leads on your list. I just want to make sure that you don't grow a list and then do nothing with it. It's very important to nurture them and help them get to know, like, and trust you. So what do you guys think of that idea? Ashley, were there any questions as we went along there?
Okay, so there was just a couple of questions. So Jocelyn was asking about what theme you're using. So maybe this would be a good chance to like show the different themes, or if you're a member and you don't know that you can change your theme, this might be news to you.
Yes, so we have 3 different options for how your PDFs can kind of look and feel. So that's a really great question, Jocelyn. So I'm going to go into my profile, and under preferences, you'll see something here called theme. We have the classic theme, modern, and bold. I was using the modern theme. That's what you saw, and that's what you're going to see in my examples today. But if you would rather have like a printer-friendly version, use the classic theme. And the bold theme is a bit different too. So if you want to get a better sense of how these look, there's a little question mark beside theme. Just click on that and it'll bring up a little area where you can look through the theme options and you can get little previews of them.
Awesome. And then we had another question. I saw it on Facebook from Sandra, and then also in the chat here on Zoom from Lindsay. And they're just asking about sharing your lead magnet. So specifically asking about like sharing on Facebook or social media. So we have some terms around how you can share things on that Clean Life. Did you want to explain how you like to distribute lead magnets, Abigail?
Yeah, so all of the content that you export from that Clean Life must stay in the PDF format. So you can't take our content and share it on social media outside of the PDF format. So with that being said, the whole point of a lead magnet, guys, is to collect email addresses, right? So you want to create it, and then you want to use a landing page, whether that's your website, whether that's something like Linktree, where people can go, enter in their email address, and then receive your lead magnet in exchange for their email address. That's the point, right? You want to capture the email address of your lead. If you're not doing that, then you're missing a huge opportunity. If you're just sending freebies out into the wild without having a way to keep in touch with anyone, you're missing a big, big opportunity. So make sure you have it set up properly. I know a lot of our members are using MailChimp landing pages for to set up their lead magnet. Some are using ConvertKit, which has a landing page feature. And then some are using things like WordPress and Wix that have built-in plugins where they can upload their lead magnet and create little boxes on their website for people to download as well. So I hope that helps to clarify. Is there any other questions while we're in here, Ash?
There is one more from Jerry over on Facebook, and she's asking about saved plans. So she sees her saved plans on her dashboard, but wants to know where the rest of them are.
Right. Okay. So any plan you create within that Clean Life is automatically saved. So there's 3 ways actually you can find them. Dashboard, your recents are over here. from your planner, there's a little drop-down menu called Recents. And when you click on that, you can scroll down, and as you will see, it'll load more plans as you scroll. So as you keep scrolling, all your plans will load. You can see right now I have 41 plans, so I can keep scrolling to see all of those. I know some of you guys have hundreds of plans, so as you keep scrolling, those will load. If you know the name of the meal plan too, you can also search for it. So I'm trying to think of like a meal plan that I saved. Let's just do plant-based. Yes, okay, here. You can see my 5-day plant-based challenge. So I knew the name of that, so then I can just click on that. So there are many different ways you can save your or find your meal plans, and remember your meal plans are always saving in real time, so you never have to worry about losing those.
Okay, cool. We are good for questions right now.
Okay, amazing. So I'm gonna clear those filters. Also, give me some feedback, guys, in the chat box. What did you think of that first idea, the lead magnet, creating a summer-inspired lead magnet to attract your ideal client? Is that something you already have up and running? If not, like I just showed you, you can do that really quick. So let us know what you're thinking about that one. I would argue that if you don't have that, that's something you can implement with any of these ideas that we're sharing today. Okay, let's move on to idea number 2, which is to run a summer-inspired challenge for your community. So people love challenges, right, guys? Like, people love having a challenge, whether that's, you know, following a meal plan for 30 days and being given the materials and a community to help support them through that. And you know, in the summer months, a lot of people are looking for kind of a challenge or some kind of a support and accountability to stay on track. So let's give another example, because I always find those super helpful. So let's say you're a nutritionist who helps women in the postnatal period. So in this case, you could create something really awesome on that Clean Life, like an 8-week Healthy Mama Summer Challenge, where participants get weekly summer-inspired meal plans with grocery lists and recipes. And you can also create a private Facebook group where they can all meet with each other and meet with you for support and accountability. So with that idea being said, let's talk about how you would create the materials for a challenge like this using that Clean Life. So if you guys have been paying attention, you know that last week we released something called a No Fuss summer program. So I'm going to head into the programs tab, and you'll see here we have our No Fuss summer program. So our programs are done for you. Most of them are 7 days. They all come with a meal plan, a grocery list, recipes, and a prep guide. So this is the perfect way to run a challenge. And like I said, the No Fuss Summer Program, it focuses on really simple meals that all use fresh summer produce, which aligns perfectly with that challenge I just described. So I'm going to click on View, and I'll be taken to the pre-made program. Now, everything is all done for you. Things are set. The serving sizes are set. The leftovers are already marked. If you click on List, the grocery list is already created for this. So it's pretty great. So I'm going to head back to that program. Now, I want to make this week 1 of my challenge. So I'm going to make a copy of it, and I'm going to name it Healthy Mama Summer Challenge Week 1. Now, you have the option to scale the meal plan to feed anywhere from 1 to 4 people. And I want to cover this because it's a question that we often get asked. It's, when I run a group program or a challenge, how many people should the meal plan feed? And I always say it depends on your community. So like I said, this is for women in the postnatal period. If you find that most of your clients are living alone and cooking for 1, then you should make a meal plan for 1. If you know that most of your clients are living with a partner, then make the meal plan feed 2. And then if you know they have more kids, then you might want to make it for 3 or 4. So I'm going to say that I know that most of my clients in the postnatal period are living with their partner, and this is their first baby. So I'm going to make this meal plan feed 2, and I'm going to click copy plan. Now all the servings are set for you. You don't have to change anything. Everything's ready to go. So this can be your week 1. That's how easy it is to create the first week of your challenge. So when you're ready to export this, just click export. And again, guys, you can choose a cover page. I'm going to put the blueberry agua fresca on the front page. And I'm going to take that snippet out that I wrote before. It's still there because I didn't actually export it last time. And I'm going to insert another snippet. So I'm going to use my challenge intro snippet. So this is something I wrote in advance. I said, welcome to week 1 of our Healthy Mama Summer Challenge. This challenge is designed to help you really enjoy the summer months while eating delicious seasonal food and feeling your best during the postpartum period. So once I have my brief all in there and that I love the way it looks, all I need to do is scroll down and click export. And I can export this as a PDF and it's all ready to go. So week 1 of my challenge, the content is already created. So let's open that up so I can show you what it looks like. Front page cover, Abigail's Wellness has my logo on it, which is pulled in from my account settings. Name of the challenge, my brief, I'll zoom in for you guys here. I also included grocery list tips, shopping tips, recipe tips, and leftover tips, which is a snippet within that Clean Life you can use. Meal plan is on the next page. Nutrition information, this page is totally optional if you think your clients would like to include it, but if not, no worries. It's always so interesting to me to hear about who likes to include it and who doesn't. So our members who are working with bodybuilders, people with eating disorders, they don't want to include nutrition information, right? Whereas the bodybuilder crew does. So totally depends on your client whether you think they will benefit from seeing that nutrition information. Next page has an itemized grocery list on it. Everything is outlined under categories, so makes grocery shopping a breeze for the participants of your group challenge. And then all the recipes are there for you too. And if you so choose, you can also go back to the programs page with that in that Clean Life. I'll do that real quick. And you can grab the prep guide too. So when you click on guide is done for you. All you need to do is make a copy of this into your Google Drive, name it Healthy Mama Summer Challenge week 1, and you can include a prep guide too. And what the prep guide does is it outlines how to follow the meal plan day by day. So it says, hey, do your grocery shopping, make your overnight oats. Here's what you need to do on Sunday to prepare for the week ahead. And then after that, it breaks down everything that your client needs to prepare on a day-to-day basis. So no excuses to not stay organized and on track. This outlines everything for them. And for those of you guys who are using prep guides with your clients, you know how much they love it, especially if they're new to healthy eating. So with this idea kind of being said, I really feel that challenges are a great way to introduce a new revenue stream into your business. So let's say you run an 8-week challenge and you charge, like say $80 to participate. That would work out to $10 a week, which is super cheap. So that is only $10 a week. And let's say you market that to your mailing list, which you've been growing because you have a lead magnet, and you market it across your social media channels and whatever channels you have available to you. I know some of you guys work at community centers or gyms and stuff. You market it to those audiences as well. Let's say you convert 50 participants at $80 a participant. That means you're bringing in an additional $4,000 in revenue from this challenge. So that is not outlandish. We have a member, Katie, who we have a case study on, and she used those exact numbers and really blew it out of the water for her first one. So this is definitely doable. It's easy when you have that clean life. And people might not be ready to commit to working with you long-term, because I know a lot of you guys have long-term coaching packages, and a challenge is a great way for people to experience what it's like working with you without having to make a big financial commitment. Like $80 isn't a huge deal to many people, right? So it's a great way to introduce them to what you have to offer and really give them a preview of everything you offer. And then at the end of your challenge, you can tell them what to do to get more, whether that's teaching them about your one-on-one services, or maybe you're running a fall challenge that they can join. So make sure at the end of your challenge, you tell people what they can do to get more. So I hope that kind of shows how easy running a challenge can be. I will say we often talk about free challenges. Challenges can be free, like a 5-day challenge, but they can also be paid. So this example I gave was an 8-week challenge to cover the whole summer period to keep people inspired and motivated over the course of the entire summer. And you can definitely charge money for that. Any questions about that one, Ash?
A couple of questions about your brief. So Samantha and Jessica are both wondering how you got the pink text in the headings.
So, okay, let's go over that one. So when you go into the planner, when you click export and you go into the brief, so this section that I used, pro tip with the grocery list tips, the shopping tips, it's already available to you guys. If you click on view all and you click on templates, this is the client meal plan introduction. So all you need to do is pop that in and all the formatting is done for you. But if you're doing custom formatting, so I'm going to click export and go back, you can use the headings tab to create headings. So let's say here I want to be like introduction. Then I can type that, highlight it, and turn that into a heading.
Yes, amazing. Also a really great question from Angela about running this. So she wants to know, for a 6-week challenge, what would you do after week 1? Would you be able to create your own custom prep guides for the plans that you're creating?
Yes. So after week 1, I know I showed you guys a pre-made program to use as week 1. You could continue to use our pre-made program if you wanted, but creating custom programs within that Clean Life from scratch is totally possible too. And once you get the hang of it, it doesn't take that much time. So if you're using custom programs, you can also create prep guides with them. So essentially all you need to do is go to one of our prep guides, highlight everything and wipe it out, and then just type up your own for your custom meal plan. We do not generate the meal plans or the prep guide, automatically for your customized program. So just keep that in mind.
Amazing. And there are so many questions in the chat right now about, how do you promote this? Do you do 1 week for free? How far in advance do you start advertising it before it begins? So guys, I just dropped our blog post with Katie, who Abigail mentioned a couple of times, and she laid out exactly what she did. So she only took 3 weeks to do her lead magnet, her free challenge, and launch her paid program. And it's all laid right out in that post. So make sure that you click that and read it, because I think it will really help a lot of you guys who are asking these questions.
Yeah, there doesn't need to be a huge lead up to this. Like, you don't need a period of 3 weeks to promote this. I know from my experience, and Ashley, you can attest to this, that the majority of your signups are going to come in the few days before your challenge actually starts. Like, people wait till the last minute. So I'd say a week max is all you need to promote this. What is it, June 23rd? You could start promoting this now and launch something on July 1st and run it for July and August. There's absolutely no reason why you can't make this happen. And keep in mind, you only need to have week 1 ready to start. So don't think you need to create everything for your 8-week program right now. You can create week 1, you can start marketing this tomorrow, and you can have it filled out. This will be easier if you have a mailing list to market to. If you don't have a mailing list, go back to the first idea I shared, create your lead magnet, start promoting that, work on the details of your challenge, and then wait a week and then launch your challenge after you've built up your list and you have people to market it to.
Totally. All right, I think we're good for questions from that one.
Cool. So Ashley, I'm going to turn it back over to you to discuss the next few ideas that we came up with.
Okay, amazing. I'm going to fire up my screen share now. Can you see that okay?
Yes, it looks good.
Okay, amazing. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is one that I'm really excited about. Like Abigail mentioned, we were chatting about this before we went live. I think this is such a fun idea, you guys. And if anyone out there is just struggling in their business and you feel like you don't have anyone reaching out to you right now, you don't know where your next clients are going to be coming from, and you just in general don't have a community around your brand yet, and that's something that you're really aiming towards, listen up, because this is such a fun idea to help you get there. So what we were thinking is that you could host some kind of summer inspired recipe club. Everybody has been in isolation. Everybody's going a little bit stir crazy right now and needing social connection. Book clubs are really hot right now. I keep seeing everyone talking about book clubs. So what you could do is create like a recipe club, which is kind of like a book club, but with recipes, with cooking. So that's super fun, right? And every week it could be focusing on a specific ingredient that's in season, and the general idea being that you send out a recipe, everyone tries it, everyone gets together and talks about it, and then as the health professional, you get to school them on some of the health benefits or reasons why they should be enjoying this food. I know that there's asparagus everywhere where I am right now, and asparagus is such a healthy food, but a lot of people don't necessarily realize what a powerhouse asparagus is. So look around at what's in season and maybe use that to kind of get your creative juices flowing. But I'm going to walk you through an example. So let's say that you wanted to create a recipe club that would last 8 weeks, so pretty much throughout the whole summer. At least here in North America, our real growing season is pretty short. So we've got about 8 solid weeks where the bounty is plentiful. And maybe you want to do like a nutritious summer fruits recipe club. And every week you're focusing on one fruit that's in season. So you could do like strawberries, raspberries, peaches, blueberries, the list goes on. You can find 8 weeks worth of fruits. And every week, whoever signed up in the club just gets a mini recipe book, 5 recipes, something for breakfast, something for lunch, something for dinner, a snack idea, a dessert idea that contains this fruit that you're focusing on this week. They can make all of them or just a couple of them, and then you could meet up and talk to them about the benefits, talk about what they tried, what they liked, what they didn't like, how they felt about it, all about that specific ingredient. It's also a fun idea because this could happen in person or online over Zoom or something like that, because it's going to vary depending on where you're at right now, whether it's possible to have meetups in person. So this works either way. So let's say that I'm rolling with that idea. I'm doing nutritious summer fruits, and I'm going to start with strawberries for week 1. So I'm going to go into my recipe database. I'm going to click on filter, and then I'm going to search for recipes that include strawberries. And this is really quick and easy. So like I mentioned, I'm just going to look for one recipe from each meal type, and all of our recipes are tagged, right? So we make it really easy to pull out only the breakfast recipes that contain strawberries. So I'm going to search for that. And we've got a lot of different options here because strawberries are sweet and sweet things are usually for breakfast. So I'm going to look at this millet porridge with strawberry sauce recipe. It's 40 minutes, 7 ingredients, looks good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to a collection. So I'm going to start a new collection, and I'm going to call it Nutritious Summer Fruits, and specifically this one is for strawberries. So I would just create a new collection for each week of my recipe club, right? I could do nutritious summer fruits, blueberries, peaches, etc. So I'm going to add my first recipe to that collection. That's a quick way to create a collection. If you want to be super organized, guys, you can go into your collections tab. You can create all of your collections for the whole duration of your recipe club all at once if you wanted to. And I've got my breakfast idea. So now I'm going to go back into filters. I'm going to clear out breakfast. I'm going to replace that with lunch. I'm actually going to do lunch and dinner together, so I can just pull 2 recipes here. And this works out perfectly because we have exactly 2 recipes that contain strawberries. So we've got a Buddha bowl I'm going to add to my collection, and this strawberry asparagus salad, very in season for right now. So I'm going to add that too. All right, so lunches and dinners are covered, and now I'm going to look for a snack recipe with strawberries. I'm doing this in real time, guys, start to finish, so everybody has time for this. This literally takes like 2 minutes. These strawberry coconut oatmeal muffins look amazing. Again, you always have the option to open it up, have a look at what is going on. You can check the nutrition of the recipe. You can make any modifications if you want to the recipe. You know, if you want them to use chia seeds instead of flax seeds, or instead of full fat coconut milk, if you wanted them using the light coconut milk, you can do whatever you want to do here. I'm going to add this to my collection as is. And then I've got one more recipe to add because I also want to have a dessert idea. And I have a specific recipe in mind for this one. I used to send out a weekly newsletter with one recipe attached every week. And there was one specific recipe, this strawberry brownie cake that I sent out. And that newsletter got the most replies of anything I've ever sent out. People love this recipe. So just a pro tip, guys. This is a very, very fun summer dessert. And I don't think you need to bake it. It's just like a no-bake kind of cake recipe. Anyway, highly recommend. Okay, so that's in my collection. So now I've got my Nutritious Summer Fruits Strawberries Edition recipe book collection put together, and I'm going to export that and send it to my recipe club people. If you wanted to reorder them so that it's like breakfast is first, lunch is second, dinner is third, snack, and then dessert, you can reorder your collections just by dragging things over at the side here. Click on those little dots, just a pro tip. And I'm going to click on export. I'm going to export the recipes. I'm going to include the nutrition information. You don't have to, totally optional, and select a cover page. Obviously, I'm going to put the strawberry brownie cake on the cover. I don't even need to explain why I'm doing that. And then like Abigail, I actually came in beforehand here and wrote up a little snippet. So I'm going to just pull that up. Again, if you like to work ahead, you could create all your collections in advance. You could write out all of your weekly snippets in advance. So I'm going to apply that. And then I'm going to download it. And here's how it's going to look for the members of my recipe club. So they've got their cover page. Again, everything is branded with your logo, business info. I've got my little snippet that I wrote. Hey, Recipe Club Squad. This week in our Nutritious Summer Fruit series, we are talking all about strawberries. In this week's recipe packet, you'll find 5 meal ideas that contain this seasonal summer berry. Give at least one of them a try before we meet up for this week's call. When you're shopping for strawberries this week, look for locally grown berries. They're in season right now, so our local berries will be sweeter, fresher, and cost less, which is win-win-win. If you're shopping at the farmer's market, make sure you get there early because they go quickly. Then I included some health benefits for strawberries, so just letting people know that they're high in vitamin C, which is good for your immune system, vitamin A, which is good for your skin. They're helpful for cooling you down and hydrating you on hot summer days, tons of antioxidants, low glycemic for blood sugar issues. And if you have any personal experience or if you have any feedback from clients, for those of you guys who have been members for a long time, it's nice to share that going forward. So for the strawberry coconut oatmeal muffins, I know that they keep really well in the freezer. So I put a little note that you might want to make a double batch, and then signed off, and it goes straight into the recipes. So something like this can come together so quickly. It has such a personal touch. It's just a great way to build a community around your brand. And I always hear people say that at the end of the day, whether or not you have a community around your brand can make or break your business. So if this isn't something that you've invested your time in yet, I would highly recommend putting some time towards that this summer. Okay, so that's our recipe club idea. Do we have any questions about that before I move on?
Yeah, so first question related to the recipe club is how to market something like this. So I don't know, Ashley, off the top of your head, if you have any ideas on how to market a recipe club, like how would you go about getting the most signups for something like this?
Yeah, so I think it depends a little bit on the specific structure of your business, but there are 2 main ways that I would look at this. So the first is if you are running more of an online business, if you're focusing most of your marketing efforts on social media and your email list, advertise it there. Get on Instagram and talk about, how you want to bring people together. And this is a fun way to connect and create a little community over the summer. Send out to your email list, asking them to just reply back and let you know if they want in on it, and create a Facebook group. So you could manage everything. And that way you could do live streams in your Facebook for the weekly meetups, or you could use Zoom meeting. I just moved to a really small community. So when I was looking at this idea, I was thinking how great it would be someplace like this. And I talk to members all the time who are running more brick and mortar style practices that are community based versus doing the, niche down and market to the whole world online model. So if you're in that position, then this is absolutely a great way to expand your brand recognition within your community. So you could go on to the like community Facebook groups, even something like every community I feel like has a buy and sell at this point on Facebook. Like go in and let people know that you're offering something like this. And this is something you could charge like $20 for, right? Just a low investment just to know that they're actually invested. I wouldn't necessarily do this for free. You totally could, but I think you get better results if you just ask them to have a little skin in the game. And if you got, 50 people to sign up for this over the course of the summer, that's $1,000 in your pocket, plus hopefully a whole new pool of leads to market to for your one-on-one programs or your group programs or whatever else you have going on afterwards. And most importantly, it's just connection and community, which is going to do way more for your brand and your business than anything else, I think.
And you're helping people with their mental health right now too, by creating that community and connection. Like so many people are longing for stuff like that after being isolated for so long. So that's a bonus too, is it will help people's mental health. And you can definitely say that when you're marketing something like this as well, because, we all benefit from having support and people around us. Okay, next question was about kind of pricing. Would you run something like this for free, which you kind of just touched on, or would you charge money for it? So why don't you give your opinion on that, Ash? And I can also chime in on that as well.
Yeah, I think something like this, I would charge money for, especially if you're doing it in person and you're like providing refreshments or something at the meetings. If you were running it in person, I think it should be like a potluck style thing where everyone brings a little something with them. But like I mentioned, I think you could do this for free depending on where you're at in your business, and you'll still get the benefit of the community. But I think that when people pay, they pay more attention. So even just investing $20 into something like this, they're not going to skip it just because they're tired that night because they paid for it. So they're going to show up, they're going to be more engaged, and you're going to have better results.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it all comes down to what your business goals are. If you're just starting out and you don't have any clients, you might want to do something like this for free because people might not have that trust in you yet. And this could be a really great way to build that trust and help. I know I say this all the time, but people need to get to know, like, and trust you before they buy from you. And then if you already have an established client base and you already have a community built up, then you should absolutely 100% pay for or make this a paid club to be in because you're further along in your business. So if you're at a stage where you need to grow your audience, I'd say make it free. But if you're at a stage where your goal is to make more money, then make it a paid thing.
Totally.
The last question here was the breakdown of what types of recipes. So what we suggested was to include one breakfast, one lunch, one dinner, and one snack using the seasonal piece of produce. So in this case, strawberries. But you could do something similar, like Ashley said, for asparagus. The next week you could do peaches and work your way through that. And that way, because it's cheap to buy it in mass amounts, they have so much of it and they can use it in different ways, which I think is a lot of fun. So no other questions about that one in particular, but I do want to say there's tons of good feedback coming in on this idea. I see you guys saying that you love this, and I love that you love it, but I would love for you to implement it even more. So if you do start up something like this, please be sure to send us an email and let us know how it's going, because we want to hear all about it.
Yes, and if it's popular over the summer, the idea carries on indefinitely, because you can totally have a fall harvest recipe club. You could totally have a Christmas baking recipe club. You could continue this and it could be a huge part of your brand.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, amazing. So moving on to the next idea. So this is for those of you guys who are supporting one-on-one clients over the summer. And I know that, I hear this all the time from colleagues, and I've even experienced it myself. We sort of think that the one-on-one client game goes out the window in the summer because so few people are signing up, and everyone's saying, oh, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy my summer at the cottage, and then I'll come see you when the kids go back to school and when I'm ready to get my butt back in gear. And a lot of people just in general associate eating healthy or having a healthy lifestyle with missing out on the fun stuff. But we all know that that is not the case. So make sure that you're getting out there and letting your clients know, or potential clients know, that you are still open for business in the summer. You still take clients, and create some messaging specifically around how you can help over the summer and how you can help your clients stick to, you know, what their goals are and actually finish the summer having had a great time, but still getting closer to their goals versus starting fresh in September, which everyone tends to do. So you can still offer this one-on-one support over the summer months and really tailor your meal plans to what your client actually needs and have it be super, super hyper personalized so that they are not missing out on anything. Like if they love corn, but they heard that if you eat healthy, it means you can't eat corn, pack their meal plan with all the delicious fresh corn recipes and show them that it absolutely can be done. So we have tons of different filters. I already showed you guys how to search based on which ingredients you want to include. So if you wanted to roll with that example, you could look for corn recipes for your client. You can also search based on cooking method. Like I mentioned, I just moved and like we basically moved into a cottage. We didn't have a stove for the first couple days, but we did have an Instant Pot. And I was thinking about all the people who go camping and maybe have a plug-in, but they don't have a stove. So Instant Pot recipes, you can search for pressure cooker recipes. If you know that your client loves barbecue and is going off to the cottage, you could search specifically for barbecue recipes and start putting together meal plans that you know that they would love. A recipe like this could also be done straight up on a campfire. So just because your client's doing a lot of traveling, doing a lot of camping, spending a lot of time at the cottage over the summer doesn't mean that you can't support them, but they might not know that. So the most important thing to take away from this is that you have to be communicating that you are still open for business and you are still helping your clients. If people are giving you excuses, you can't get mad at them. You have to turn around and say, what is wrong with my marketing that people think that these are barriers to working with me? Just because you're going to the cottage doesn't mean you can't work with me. So get on social media or send out a newsletter talking about all of the healthy campfire recipes that you have and how people can support their health while they're still living their summer and, you know, doing whatever they were going to do without missing out on any of that at all. And we already kind of showed you a lot about meal planning, so I won't spend too much more time here, but you can start from either one of our pre-made programs, or you could just put something together from scratch for your clients and pop in a lot of barbecue recipes, a lot of what you know they already love. Try recipes and then repeat them. You know, if someone says, oh my gosh, I love that recipe so much, this is a great example of that. This recipe, everybody who's ever tried it raves about it. The grilled pineapple and chicken salad is an oldie, but a goodie. And if your client loves it, like add it to their meal plan once a week because they're going to want to eat it a lot, right? Okay, so I think that's everything I wanted to say about that. Do we have any questions about one-on-one clients over the summer?
Not question. Well, we do have a few questions, but I have to laugh because there's a spin-off conversation happening in the chat about Heather was asking, what is a cottage? And I'm laughing because we keep saying cottage over and over. And it's one of those things like we just call it a certain thing. So here we call a cottage like a summer getaway essentially. But Ashley, you're now referring to your home as a cottage, right?
Oh my gosh. It's confusing. Yes.
I know. So I think like the definition of a cottage is like, it's a style of house. I think somebody said that in the chat and I think you're right. So I have to laugh because never in a million years when we created That Clean Life did we think we'd go worldwide, and there's so many words we use here that, you know, don't translate. So that's funny because we also, that's actually one question. Can you show again how to find grill recipes, which we use the term barbecue?
Barbecue. You know, I actually thought about that before we went live. I was wondering, is the term barbecue universal? Because sometimes it's like BBQ and then sometimes it's written out like barbecue like we do in our tags. Some people say grill. So if you are using That Clean Life, you're going to have to use the word barbecue to search for grill recipes. Sorry.
Okay. I don't think there was any questions other than how to find the grilling recipes. I think we all got distracted with the whole cottage thing. So let's move on to the next idea.
Okay, last one for today, guys. And this one is for those of you who love doing in-person events. I saw someone on Facebook when we first went live. I'm so sorry that I don't have it open right now to shout out your name, but she said that she uses That Clean Life to run her cooking classes. So anybody who runs cooking classes in your business or wants to get into it or loves doing workshops, this is for you because there's so many fun summer topics that you could use right now to run a workshop. In particular, I was watching the news yesterday and I saw that alcohol sales in March were up like 55% on average over the whole world. So pretty much every single country had an increase of alcohol sales when the pandemic started and people started staying at home, whether to deal with stress or to have something to do. And now I think a lot of people are getting away from that because they're feeling the effects of maybe a few months of heavy drinking. And mocktails are really hot right now. So I think now would be a great time to get in front of your audience and talk to them about ways that they can enjoy the summer without a lot of heavy drinking, just for general health, or maybe you work with a population that really has to reduce their alcohol consumption, like high blood pressure or something like that. But just like running a recipe club, running a workshop or cooking class or event of any kind will help to foster that community around your brand, because you're getting people to come together and everybody needs that connection. Everybody needs that community right now. And then it also is a whole other income stream in your business. So it can help you grow your business over time, as well as get that short injection of revenue by just hosting an event and selling tickets to it. So let's say you wanted to do that. Let's say you wanted to host like a healthy summer mocktails workshop. What you could do is use that Clean Life to put together some different ideas. When it comes to workshops, what I usually recommend is have a set number of recipes that you're going to make. So if you're doing it in person, this is really obvious because you have to buy the supplies for it. So you have to know what you're going to make and how much you're going to make. If you are not able to do it in person yet in the area that you're living in, you're still going to need to decide what you want to tell people to buy. So maybe pick a handful of healthy drink recipes. And then I always recommend throwing in a few bonuses, because who doesn't love a bonus? So I'm going to use the tags and I'm going to search for drinks. Hopefully whatever country you're in, this is the term that is used, unlike barbecue. And we have a ton of like healthy mocktail style recipes in our database. So something you could go with, like a salty one, like a Caesar, maybe like a sangria replacement, and like a mojito for your workshop. You could do those three and then send some bonus recipes. So I'm going to do exactly what I did with my recipe club, where I'm going to create a new collection. So I'm going to create a collection, and I'm going to call this Mocktails with Benefits, because I'm not only going to talk about not drinking alcohol, but some specific key ingredients in my mocktails that are actually beneficial to health in my workshop. Okay, so I'm adding this classic virgin Caesar. Just gonna have a look at the ingredients again. You could change anything out if tamari is not something that your target audience is going to have access to. You could change that. If, you know, I mentioned high blood pressure earlier, if this is maybe a little bit too salty for your crowd, you could absolutely make some changes. Use like low sodium soy sauce or something like that. I'm also going to add this sangria recipe. I'm going to add this mojito recipe. The list goes on. You just want to find like whatever is interesting and fun and use those ingredients that are available where you are. We have tons of sparkling water recipes. We have some kind of like blended ones with watermelon that are so good and so fun for summer. We have some that use functional ingredients like aloe, if you like talking about that in your practice. So go ahead and build out whatever you want here, whatever you want to create. I'm going to add a couple. And then I'm going to go back to collections, and I already showed you how to do this, so I won't spend too much time on it, but you could just export your recipe book. So export collection, recipes. You could include the nutrition information. I'm not even going to for this one because this is just mocktails. I don't feel like I need to break down the nutrition. You could write a brief if you want to, or you could just use this as just a straight up recipe book and give it away at your workshop or send it to people beforehand. And I'm going to open up my recipe book here, and you can see this is what your client would get. So they've got their mocktails with benefits recipe book, and then it just gets straight into the actual recipes. So something like that is super simple to run, super fun. And like I said, I know that in-person events aren't an option for everybody right now, but just because they're not doesn't mean that that has to hold you back. You can still run events online. You can still totally have a fun cooking class over Zoom where people get the ingredients beforehand. If you are running this online, just make sure that you set up some kind of landing page somewhere where you can sell tickets for this. So like Eventbrite, Universe are good options, and then just send them the link to your Zoom to join live. And if you're running this in person, same thing, make sure that you're selling tickets. If you're doing this online, you could charge anywhere from $20 to $60. And if you're doing this in person and you're providing the ingredients and you're renting a cute venue, then you might want to charge a little bit more to take into account all of those extra expenses. But either way, this is super fun for the people who show up, and it's definitely going to help you grow your business and your brand awareness and just support people's health over the summertime.
Awesome. And I see in the chat, so like there's a lot of people who are doing this already. So I wanted to shout out Dee Dee, who said, I do more cooking classes and demos now than I ever did before. And that Zoom has made it so much easier for people to join in and cook along, which is really great because they can get those. You can send them the grocery list in advance and they can get that. Also, Jacqueline Jones, who's tuning in on Facebook, she started her cooking classes at the beginning of COVID, and she's saying that they're so popular. So she runs them every Sunday and lots of people tune in. So she said people are loving this. So there's proof, guys. There's that Clean Life members already doing workshops, and people love it because they can, like you said, they can follow along in the comfort of their own home. And we actually had another question from Heather, I believe, about in person versus online. And you can do workshops either, but it will totally depend on what reopening phase that your area is in at the time. So like if right now there's like regulations, like you can't get together in groups of 10 or more or 50 or more. So you have to check in with your area and what the guidelines are. And if there's any question, you can do it online. Like Jacqueline said, Zoom makes it really easy for people to tune in. And if you get people the materials in advance, they can follow along. And it's actually one of the ideas we shared in a webinar 2 weeks ago that we did on family-based meal planning, was that you could do a workshop that shows families how to prep all their food within a few hours on Zoom. So you create them a meal plan, you send them the grocery list, and then you walk them through how to prepare everything for the week, and people will love that. Okay, so I didn't see any questions related to workshops. There have been a few other questions come in, but if we missed your question, we're sorry, guys. Just send us an email to support@thatcleanlife.com, and we can always answer your question there if we missed it, because the chat box is super busy. So let's recap the 5 ideas that we finished, right? We did 5. Yes,
We did 5. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, oh no, I'm cutting you off. So we talked about 5 ideas. We talked about creating a summer-inspired lead magnet. We talked about running a summer-inspired challenge. After that, we talked about hosting a summer-inspired recipe club with focusing on summer produce. Then we talked about offering a one-on-one summer accountability and support program. And then we talked about hosting a summer mocktail workshop. We use the example of mocktails, but you could do anything. Like you could do a workshop on how to use 10 pounds of strawberries, like there's many summer inspired ways you can do workshops. So with those 5 ideas being said, guys, tell us, pop into the chat box, whether you're tuning in on Facebook or Zoom, and let us know which of these ideas resonates with you. Which one of these ideas do you commit to taking action on? Like tomorrow. Summer is here, guys. So we want you to implement these ideas right away. And we want you to know that summer months do not have to be slow. You've got the tool, That Clean Life, to help you do all these things in minutes. It's just a matter of creating it, marketing it, and then you're off to the races. So pop into the chat box. Let us know which of these ideas you're committing to and which one you're going to get started working on right away. Well, people are putting that. Oh, I already see lots of lead magnets and challenge, recipe books, recipe club. Okay, awesome. Keep that coming, guys. We love it. Well, you guys are putting in your commitments to take action in there. Ashley, do you want to talk about pricing of That Clean Life real quick, because we do have a few people here who aren't members of That Clean Life yet. So let's tell them how to join.
Yeah, okay, so if you are not a member yet, it is really, really easy to get started. You can just go to thatcleanlife.com/pricing and select your membership term. So we have two options. Both of them include absolutely everything that you saw today. So you get unlimited access to our recipes. You can make as many plans as you need, whether you have 10 clients or 1,000 clients, you are covered with your membership. All of the programs that we have pre-made, all of the prep guides, you can download as much as you need to. So if you want to run 100 workshops this summer, you are covered. You can absolutely do that. And all of our members also get access to live monthly coaching calls with Tabitha, who is awesome. So if you want to come out live, we talked about community a lot today. We have an amazing community of members. And if you want to come and chat with them and brainstorm ideas and learn more about using That Clean Life to grow your business, you will get invites to those. And then in terms of pricing, you can either pay for the year upfront for $600, or you can pay monthly, $60 a month. So with the yearly membership, obviously you get a huge discount. It works out to 2 months for free. But we also have another really sweet offer that we throw in with our yearly membership as a bonus. And this is great for the summer. So if things are a little bit slower for you this summer, I want to talk to you about our Nutrition Business Growth Accelerator, because this is a 3-week course that you get access to as a yearly member. And summer is the perfect time to run through this and get yourself ready for like the biggest September of your business, and just getting as many clients as you possibly can, getting really clear on what your goals are in your business, whether you're just getting started and you really want to grow your email list and just acquire as many clients as possible, or whether you are getting tired of the one-on-one client model and looking to scale and do more group programs. We also talk about scaling even bigger with membership sites and subscription service type stuff. So basically whatever your goal is, we will walk you through how to get there in this course. And like I mentioned, it's totally free for all yearly members. So if you are a yearly member and you haven't enrolled yet, send an email to us at support@thatcleanlife.com and we will enroll you. And if you are just getting started, make sure that you take advantage of this, because now is literally the perfect time to be laying the groundwork for when this slow season is over. It doesn't have to be a slow season, but if you are not working on something, you can be working on this. And yeah, just go to thatcleanlife.com, click on Get Started, and the setup process is really easy. It'll walk you through everything.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, guys. So we are at time here. We're a little bit over time, but this is really great. We hope you got a ton of ideas on how to actually grow your business and attract new clients and support your current clients this summer. We hope to hear about you taking action on them. So for those of you guys who are members of That Clean Life already, you're already set. You guys have the tools to do all of these things. And we just showed you how to do all of these things in minutes. Like, we've been on this call for just a little bit over an hour. We spent a lot of the hour doing chit chat. Like, if you got at this, you can get this stuff created right away and take action. So send us an email if you implement any of these. We want to hear about it. And for those of you guys who aren't members, all you need to do is go to thatcleanlife.com/pricing, which is the page Ashley just showed you. You can select your membership, whether you go with our monthly membership or go with our yearly to get the bonus. Totally up to you, whatever's best. And again, sign up, you get instant access, and you can start acting on these ideas right away. So thank you guys all so much for coming out today, and we'll catch you on the next webinar. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.